My name is Mason Marsh, and I am not a great photographer. I published my first photo when I was 16 years old. I won my first award 2 years later. As a photojournalist, my work was printed in newspapers and magazines around the world. Over the years, I've shot well over 1 million images, and most of them are crap. As a master in the Arcanum, I bring decades of experience as a photographer and educator, but I'm also nervous. Hell, I'm no Trey Ratcliffe. National Geographic magazine hasn't been calling me. I've missed more shots than I've made, and when I scroll through my Lightroom catalog, I am not content with my body of work. I still have a lot of learning to do. 35 years ago, I laid my hands on a camera for the first time and quickly shot an entire roll of film of my finger. My mother's Instamatic camera had one of the lenses for the film and the other for a viewfinder. With my eye to the viewfinder, the world looked magnificent. The camera captured something different. My first lesson in photography was to move my damn finger off the lens, and I've been learning how to be a photographer ever since. You could say I've made a career out of learning. Look at this fresh-faced kid. That's me back in 1992. I was fresh out of college and working as a stringer for the Associated Press when I was assigned to cover the tragic standoff at Ruby Ridge in North Idaho. My photos from that story ran worldwide, and I figured I was on the fast track to photojournalism fame. The truth is, I was not a great photojournalist. I worked hard making images for small daily newspapers in Washington State, Alaska, and Oregon before I burnt out. Too many early morning house fires, too many late night crime scenes, and the petty politics of small town newspaper life left me emotionally drained and creatively spent. So I joined the crew of a historic tall ship and sailed the West Coast teaching school kids. I still shot a roll of film here and there, but I was consumed with learning all I could about my new nautical life. I spent 2 years on that ship teaching people of all ages about history and navigation. I learned that while I was only a good photojournalist, I was a great educator. From the tall ship, I moved on to teaching in air and space museums and classrooms. Eventually, I returned home to the Pacific Northwest and began leading educational travel programs for Elder Hostel. I also fell back in love with photography when I bought my first digital SLR, a Canon 5D Mark II. With my passion for lifelong learning in photography, it was only natural that I would end up leading photo workshops. For the past several years, I've been taking photographers to incredible places and pushing them to master the art and science of making images. Of course, I've been learning a lot along the way. One thing I've learned is that to be a better photographer, you must constantly challenge yourself technically and creatively. You must engage with other artists who challenge your ideas and motivate you to try new things. To truly grow as a creative being, you must move beyond fussing with your gear and begin making images with deliberate thoughtfulness. Getting there takes work. It takes humility. It takes being vulnerable. As artists, it's vital to our craft to step out of our comfort zones and interact with other artists in an encouraging, stimulating, and challenging community. The Arcanum model synthesizes the time-honored master and apprentice relationship with a diverse community of learners working together as a cohort to deepen their technical knowledge and expand their artistic vision. As a master in the Arcanum, I will endeavor to bring my experience as a photographer and as an educator. I am not a great photographer. I may never be a great photographer, so I will never stop learning.